beautiful people. This is Susian from Consulting Susian. I would like to speak about the topic about resistance. Have you ever received or experienced resistance internally and also externally? Externally from the people around you, and you want to level up your life and you want to do better and you want to change your life totally. And then you also get maybe internal resistance, like in the form of fear and self doubt and procrastination. Okay, this video clip that I'm about to make now is all about resistance and how it affects our manifestation process and how we want to create our best life. So please stay tuned and I'll be back in a second. Thank you. Hi, beautiful people. Thank you. Let's continue speaking about that topic about leveling up and living your best life and resistance things that are coming to play. Resistance like sabotage, procrastination, which is all internal. That's something we have control over. We can change those, but we need to first consciously and intentionally focus on them and identify them that they're all there and ask ourselves, why do I self-sabotage? Maybe there's something I'm fearing about releasing this certain lifestyle, releasing this habit, because smoking or anything else becomes a lifestyle because it's part of who you are, right? So and then you need to find out why you're using self-sabotage. Why are you destroying your own chances of being productive and successful? It could be back something that happened when you were younger, or it could be that the fact that the specific habit that you have fulfills a certain emotional connection that you have, maybe with your spouse, or maybe when you were younger, when you were learning to smoke, you smoked with your friends and it was a friendship kind of thing, and the whole societal thing about smoking because it's so accepted in society, despite the fact that it's not really good for the human body, but it's still accepted. So this video clip is not about me saying what is right and wrong, because I don't operate in that type of frequency. I believe that everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. So when you are a life coach, you tell your clients the truth, the honest truth of things. If something's unhealthy, it's unhealthy because medically it's been proven to be not unhealthy. So it's not my own opinions. It's just basically a matter of us understanding that certain things don't benefit us as humans, and yet we are all allowed to do anything we want to do. So this self-sabotaging and procrastination are the type of things that our subconscious mind uses to allow us not to implement the change, because the change is uncomfortable. And when something's uncomfortable, it's hard for us to get rid of it and then also engage into new habits. So you need to work through it step by step and ask yourself, why am I feeling like this? Why do I feel I'm feeling self-sabotage? I'm doing these certain things. Why do I feel so connected to the cigarettes? Okay, what's the purpose of me wanting to stop with the cigarettes? What are the pros and the cons, in other words, of leaving it? Okay, the pros and the cons, you'll say, for example, okay, um the pro of it is that it's a social thing and all my friends smoke, even my wife smoke. The con will be, okay, it's too expensive. Okay, so you make a list of everything. Basically, you make your list, the pros and the cons, and you need to get this clear, and you kind of weigh it out and just check on which one weighs more than the other. Then you figure out on your own. Even your coach, your life coach, or even your AA assistant or somebody that's helping you will also help you in their turns, because we always have to figure out how that specific habit actually benefits us or does not benefit us, and then you will decide, okay, I will continue with this journey and I'll find ways to overcome the self-sabotage, because now we know it's there and we identified and we owned it, that I am self-sabotaging, so I need to get rid of this technique of my body actually trying to cope with the change and trying to stop me from changing because it's so uncomfortable. Because you see, we wired like that. Our minds are wired to make us more comfortable. Like how the normal thing, like a hunger hormone, is there basically to make your body eat more food because that's the comfort zone. You see, we must eat so the body must feel the pleasure continuously, So it's the same kind of concept, even with smoking and any other so-called habits we pick up in life. And then the procrastination one too, which is quite difficult because the fact that we need to overcome that one as well by deciding on why do I feel like this? Why am I putting this thing off? Am I fearful of change? Am I too comfortable in the status quo as it is now? Am I too comfortable? And what will it take for me to release myself from these things? You see, you need to ask those questions, and you can do that same write your feelings down in terms of why do I keep on putting things off when I know I need to get them done. Okay, what are the worst situations or that can happen if I don't procrastinate and I just do it now? If I set a date, so this way I'm gonna do it in a time and I start doing it. Like I start going to gym, for example, if I want to start gym and I've been procrastinating because procrastination is something we can handle generally and try and resolve and get rid of it in a general way because it's a general feeling of putting things off because we are scared of the unknown, number one. We're scared of being uncomfortable because we're used to the status quo. So you see, so that fear is always there. You see, so even with the smoking, you'll be fearful of losing your friends. You really, really, really like those friends. They hold a very important part in your life, and they smoke. And now, if you're not a smoker, you cannot be with them anymore. So that fear of social distance and separation will be there. So there's a lot of things on why people will procrastinate or even self-sabotage. So we need to explore all those reasons why before we tackle them and decide on a plan to move forward to actually get to where we need to go. So a coach will actually sit down with you and discuss all these things and try and understand what is your emotional connection with the smoking or any other habit you want to drop. You see, what is the emotional connection with eating too much sugar, too much sweets? What is the emotional connection there? Maybe when you were younger, you ate a lot of sweets. Your parents actually rewarded you with sweets when you did something good. So then you develop an emotional connection to the sweets. Like, for example, even with fruits or anything else, if your parents rewarded you when you were good, or maybe on Fridays, every Fridays you got rewarded for actually doing good and actually going to school. Some parents actually operate like that, but anyway, we always have an emotional connection. Like I have emotional connection with eggs because my mom will make the eggs for us, and we always had eggs, plentiful of eggs in our home. So on a weekend, on Sundays and Saturdays, she'll prepare like eggs and haddock fish and stuff. And so it actually grew. It actually has an emotional connection to me. That even like after school, when I was younger, my brothers will come home and we'll fry eggs because the eggs were then very cheap and accessible for us. We'll have eggs and bread. So that became my emotional connection. I'm just trying to explain how we can connect to certain things, people, and situations emotionally because we connected to a certain situation that brought us pleasure and made us feel like accepted and in a tribe and in a group and a sense of belonging. That's why most people eat meat, although they know that maybe for health reasons they should not be eating red meat, but it has a connection with braaiing. So in South Africa, we braai a lot. So people tend to connect the eating of the red meat and meat in general with the braai. So when you think about meat, they think about braai. So things like that. So it's like emotional connection. So that's how we are. We emotional beings. We attach to everything. So if you need to work through certain things, you need to figure out where they're coming from first before you tackle them. You need to understand what's the emotional connection to that certain thing that you're trying to drop. If it's alcohol, you need to understand what's the emotional connection to it. You see, because now it's playing such a important role in your life socially that you cannot socialize without alcohol. So there's a connection there. You go back to your past and you find out when was the first time you had alcohol, and what was the emotional connection or societal connection with alcohol? What are the core social beliefs about alcohol in your family when you're growing up? Some families, it's just a thing that we do in the family, we drink. So it becomes part of an identity. I belong to the specific family and we drink, and it becomes an identity. And I've heard people saying that, and I found it a kind of interesting because it plays back into terms that we are actually uh, humans that identify with a lot of things, with family, with such situations. We always seem to kind of have an emotional connection to it, you see. So that's the reason why you need to work through. You can't just say I'm gonna stop something, because then you'll have a situation of self-sabotaging and procrastination and resistance, because your body is resisting, your mind is resisting, right? And then the next clip I'll talk about is when you have external resistance, because this one I spoke about the internal resistance we have within ourselves, which is the self-sabotage and the procrastination, right? So anyway, thank you for this clip. I hope it was helpful and insightful. Okay, please look forward to my next video clip. Thank you.